Good morning. In today's class, we are going to learn about the losses associated with the transformer, efficiency of the transformer, and the condition for the maximum efficiency for a transformer. The difference between the input power and the output power is nothing but the losses. As far as the transformer is considered, no mechanical losses. You can say input is equal to output plus losses. Whenever an input is applied to a transformer, the complete input is not converted into the output. That is, 100% efficiency will not be there. The portion of the input will be wasted as the heat, wasted in the form of heat. That is nothing but the losses. For a transformer, since there are no rotating mechanism, since the machine is stationary, no mechanical losses associated with the transformer. There are four types of losses in case of a transformer, that is iron loss, copper loss, stray loss, dielectric loss. Again, the iron loss or core loss can be divided into hysteresis losses or eddy current loss. We'll see one by one. Iron loss. It is caused by the alternating flux in the core of the transformer. It occurs in the core. It is also known as core loss. So, for a transformer which works on the alternating current, whenever an alternating voltage is applied, the alternating flux will be induced in the core of the transformer. The losses associated with this alternating flux, especially in case of core, this is also called as a core loss. The iron loss or the core loss can be further divided into hysteresis loss and eddy current loss. When you come to the hysteresis loss, it is nothing but the work done by the magnetizing force against the internal friction of the molecules of the magnet produces heat. This energy is wasted in the form of heat is called hysteresis. When in the magnetic material, magnetization force is applied, the molecules of the magnetic material are aligned in one particular direction. And when this magnetic force is reversed in the opposite direction, the internal friction of the molecular magnets opposes the reversal of magnetism, resulting in magnetic hysteresis. So you are applying the alternating voltage to the primary of the transformer. Due to that, alternating flux is introduced, or you can say alternating magnetic field. So during the positive half cycle, the molecules will be aligned in one direction. When the supply goes to the negative direction, the magnetization force is also reversed, but this will be the opposite one. For the internal friction of the molecular magnets opposes the reversal magnetism, so it results in magnetic hysteresis. The hysteresis losses can be given as power due to hysteresis is nothing but K into B power 1.6 into F into V, where K is nothing but the proportionality constant, which depends upon the volume and quality of the material of the core used in the transformer. It depends on the volume of the core and quality of the material. F is nothing but the supply frequency. B maximum is the maximum or peak value of the flux density. V is the volume. The iron or core losses can be minimized by using silicon steel material for the construction of the core of the transformer. You can see this hysteresis loss, it depends on the quality of the material. So to improve the quality of the material, the silicon steel can be added to the iron so that the hysteresis losses can be minimized. Next one is eddy current loss. When alternating current is applied to the primary, it produces alternating magnetizing flux, which links with the secondary winding, induces voltage in the secondary, resulting current to flow through the load. It is the principle of working of a alternator. So whenever the alternating flux in the core, it links with the secondary winding. It does not only links with the secondary winding, it also links with other conducting parts like steel core or iron body, so that inducing EMF locally, causing current to flow through. It is nothing but eddy current. So whenever an alternating current is applied, alternating magnetizing flux in the core links with the secondary winding. Due to that, EMF will be induced in the secondary winding. But this alternating magnetizing flux does not only link with the core, also links with does not only links with the secondary, also links with the steel core or the iron body, thus producing EMF, additional EMF. Due to that, the current will flow through. This current is called eddy current loss. This circulating current will not contribute in output of the transformer and dissipated as heat. So this is called as a loss. This type of energy loss is called eddy current loss of the transformer. This is given by K into B squared into T squared into F squared B watts, where K is the coefficient of eddy current. Its value depends on the nature of the magnetic material, like volume and resistivity of the core material and thickness of the laminations. Bm is nothing but the maximum value of the flux density. T is nothing but thickness of the lamination in meters. F is the frequency of reversal of magnetic field. That is nothing but the frequency of the frequency supply voltage. V is the volume of the magnetic material. Copper loss or ohmic loss. Due to the ohmic resistance of the transformer windings, the losses will be there. That is nothing but copper loss. Since it is from the transformer winding is nothing but a coil or a conductor made up of copper. So it is called as a copper loss. The copper losses in the primary is nothing but the primary current is I1, so I can say I1 squared into R1. The copper loss in the secondary, it is I2 squared into R2. I2 is nothing but the secondary current. So the total copper loss or the total ohmic loss is nothing but PC is equal to I1 squared R1 plus I2 squared R2. The copper loss is due to the ohmic resistance, the resistance of the transformer winding. So these losses varied according to the load, known as variable losses. The copper losses vary as the square of the load current. The load current here, I2 is nothing but the output current or the load current. You can see here it varies or it proportional to the square of the current. These losses are varied according to the load, because whenever the load value is changed, when the load is changed, according to that, current I2 will vary, the load current will vary, so that the losses associated with that, the loss which is nothing but the product of the load current square into R2 will also vary, so that it is called as variable losses. In case of the iron loss or the core loss, it is not the variable one. Stray losses. Due to the presence of the leakage field, the stray losses will be there. The percentage of these losses are very small as compared to the iron and copper loss, so these can be neglected. We will not concentrate much on the stray loss, but this loss also will be there. It is due to the presence of leakage in the field. Field here, it is nothing but the magnetic field. Due to the leakage in the field, the stray losses will be there. Next one is dielectric loss. So from the name itself we can say dielectric loss due to the bad quality of the dielectric material. So dielectric loss occurs in the insulating material of the transformer, that is in the oil of the transformer or in the solid insulations. When the oil gets deteriorated or the solid insulation gets damaged, when the insulating material quality is decreased, the efficiency of the transformer gets affected. Due to this, the losses associated with this is nothing but the dielectric loss. Variation of losses with respect to load. The iron losses are constant while copper losses are the variable with load. Since the copper losses depends on the load current, it is variable with load. So the losses can be divided into fixed loss and variable loss. The iron losses are nothing but the fixed loss. The copper losses or the ohmic losses are nothing but the variable loss. Iron losses is equal to hysteresis loss plus eddy current loss. Both hysteresis and eddy current are independent of the load current. It does not depend on the load current, so it is the fixed one. So it is constant with changing load. But the copper losses is nothing but the conduction losses in winding conductor, which are proportional to the square of current. So total loss is equal to iron loss plus copper loss. Here iron loss is the fixed one, copper loss is the variable one. So you can say total loss is equal to PA plus PCU.